The police said the case was solved, the paperwork was filed. The file was closed. But one small detail was never explained, and years later, that detail would change everything. This story takes place in a quiet American town where most people know each other by face, not by name. It was the kind of place where doors stayed unlocked, where nothing big ever seemed to happen, and where people trusted that if something went wrong, the system would take care of it. At least, that's what everyone believed. The man at the center of this story lived an ordinary life. He worked a steady job, paid his bills on time, spent weekends fixing things around the house. He wasn't rich, he wasn't powerful, and he wasn't looking for trouble. One evening he didn't come home. At first, no one panicked. Adults are late sometime. Phones die, plans change. But as the hours passed, concern quietly turned into fear. By morning, the police were involved. The investigation moved fast, almost too fast. Within days, the police announced their conclusion. They said it was an accident, nothing suspicious, no foul play. The town accepted it, because that's what towns like this do. They trust the badge, they trust the process, they move on. But one person couldn't. A family member noticed something small, something that didn't fit the story being told. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't obvious. Just a detail that raised a quiet question. When they asked about it, they were told not to worry. When they pushed harder, they were told the case was closed. And when they refused to let it go, they were told to stop looking backward. So the town moved forward. But one person stayed behind. Years passed. The house grew quieter. The memories grew heavier. And the questions never disappeared. One afternoon, while cleaning out old boxes, that same detail appeared again, still unanswered, still ignored. This time, instead of calling the police, the family member did something different. They followed the trail themselves. Old records, forgotten photos, a timeline that didn't line up. Slowly, carefully, a new picture began to form. It didn't prove anything outright. But it proved one thing clearly: the case had been closed too early. When this information finally reached the right ears, the response was different. Suddenly, people were listening. Suddenly, doors opened that had once been locked. The truth didn't arrive loudly. There were no flashing lights, no dramatic arrests, just quiet accountability. This story reminds us of something uncomfortable but important. Systems are run by humans. And humans can rush. Humans can miss things. Humans can be wrong. Justice doesn't always fail because of evil. Sometimes it fails because of hurry. And sometimes the most powerful thing in the world is a person who refuses to stop asking questions. If there's one lesson here, it's this: never underestimate the value of patience, persistence, and quiet courage. Because even when a case is closed, the truth doesn't disappear, it waits. If you value real, silent American stories like this, subscribe for more.